Getting on to our end of day process. Our end of day now is done by the supervisor or the manager. So we are signing in with a supervisor or manager code. There are always 3 steps to do the end of day. The first step we've eliminated for Mary Brown's, which is closing off the credit card batch. That happens automatically at 3 a.m. on the Chase machine, so we can go directly to step 2. Everybody got emailed, I believe, the other day, the end of day sheet. I always recommend that that sheet be left inside the cash drawer underneath the till, so it's always available for whoever's doing the end of day. So the first step, we need to make sure all of our employees are clocked out. So as a manager, I've signed in, I've hit time clock, I hit the button that says get employee, and I can hit the button that says status, which will bring all my clocked in employees up to the top. So in this case, I have 2 employees that are clocked in. I cannot do the end of day until they are clocked out. I select the first employee, it brings them over here for us, and I hit clock out, no issues. Because we're not cashing out, I don't need a report, so we can hit no. And then we repeat these steps until all employees are clocked out. If I also want to edit the shift right at this moment in time, I can do that as well, so it saves me time later. I just clocked out this employee. I know they left earlier. I can change the time. I hit OK. Their time's now changed as well. I don't need to go fix it later on. I repeat these steps. I hit get employee, status. I see Technique is clocked in. We hit OK, and then we hit clock out. Now in this example, Technique has done something that the system is saying, I can't let you clock out. You've done something in the system. You need to cash out. A lot of times this happens from just managers going in and looking at server bills. They may have not served any food. They may have not dealt with customers, but they have done something in the system that is saying they must cash out. So all the system is saying is follow the steps of a cash out. So we hit OK. We hit cash management. Now, you won't see this expected amount. I'm seeing it because I'm signed in as an administrator. We have no idea if this person was supposed to give us money. Technique's not giving us any money, so we're not going to enter anything. We're going to verify that they gave us nothing. We're going to follow the same processes of our cash outs. We're going to go save and leave. Yes, we're going to clock out. Because we're cashing out, we're going to want a report, and we're going to want that tender balance report printed. We have no idea if this employee served $500 worth of food and took it home and put it in their pockets. All we know is that the system told us they need to cash out. In this example, I served $10 worth of food, and I never handed it in. So I know that Technique is short $10. And we have now just created a paper trail showing that. This step, guys, is one of the I wouldn't say hardest is the right word, but this is the one step that needs the most practice for new supervisors and new managers. It's the #1 support call for new stores that opened up on not understanding on how to do the end of day. So if possible, this is the process that we want to spend a lot of time training new supervisors that come on to board and new managers that come on board to understand what is happening in the system and not just clicking buttons for a reason. And I go back to
this is an excellent portion that you just brought up here, Jared, because when you're cashed in, unable to clock out, this person has been cashed in. Yes, we've automatically prompted to 0 and just gone ahead and done it, but we've never actually printed that tender balance report. This tender balance report should be printed because, yes, there could be, as you said, it could be hundreds of dollars worth of transactions there, and we need a paper trail for this, and it was just it's an eye-opener for me.
Absolutely. Very good point. And it's a very simple rule. Again, it's very simple when you keep the policies. If you're cashing out, I must print a tender balance report. And when it asks if I need a report. If I'm not cashing out and I'm just clocking out, I can hit no to reports. And it's kind of one of those things. It's regardless who it is. If the system says you need to cash out, you got to print the tender balance report.
Yeah, so great point.
When you're done this step, this is what it needs to look like. Everyone's clocked out. I should not be going to the third step unless I see this. And if we think about it, this is really not a hard process as long as the user understands what's actually happening in the system. So my step 2 is done. My step 3 is very simple. I'm simply going to go to Manager Functions. I'm going to hit Day End, and I'm going to answer a few questions. Now, for the people that are new to the call, I just want to make sure we understand what's actually happening here. Our system does not work conventionally like most POS systems. Most POS systems, when you do not do your end of day, sales roll through the following day. So if I don't do the end of day on the 20th, on the 21st, all my sales roll into the 20th. That doesn't happen in Blue Streak. We know what date it is. We know what time it is. So even if a store doesn't do an end of day, their sales reports will always be correct. What we are doing in the background, we actually have 3 separate databases. We have a setup database, which has all the pricing and employee information. We have a current sales database, which has all my current sales. And we have an archive database, which has all my inventory and historical sales. And all my end of day is doing is taking everything from that current database and putting it to my archive database. So if I don't do an end of day, when I actually go into server bills, and I know this is going to cash me back in here, and I take a look at close and I take a look at all servers, this isn't showing me today's bills. This is showing me every single bill in my current database. So if I don't do the end of day, this is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where my system is so slow that I come to this screen and I wait 20 minutes for it to load up everything. Or my system just doesn't completely work because that current database is too large. So when I do an end of day, I'm just going to go ahead and cash myself back out here again because I just cashed myself in there. And I go and do my end of day. Now it's asking me if I want to report. I'm going to select no. I'm going to get back to this topic in just a minute, but I'm going to go select yes to my end of day. It's going to go and archive all my bills that I've done in my current database. When I go back into server bills now and take a look at all my bills, you'll notice there's nothing here because it's been archived. And that is the reason why we want people to do an end of day every single day. It ensures that proper things are done. It ensures that someone's system is working properly and to the best efficiency. Does any questions on the end of day process?